All right, everyone, settle in. All right, everyone, settle in. We're diving back into the shadows today.
I'm officially ready. I've got my mango, I've got my focus, and honestly, after the week I've had, I need something a bit more cosmic.
Just cosmic? You spent half your morning trying to negotiate with a coffee machine.
Hey, that was a ritual of necessity.
Anyway, today we're picking up the hymn. We're looking at the shadow history of progress, the idea that what we call civilization is actually just the leftovers of a much older, much more controversial lineage of angel guides and forbidden knowledge.
And as usual, it's going to be heavy on the "they tried to erase this" vibe. Let's just get to the text.
Right. We're looking at the Rosalind Chapel, specifically a pillar there. The authors point out this intense symbolism. It's based on Yggdrasil, the Norse world tree.
Wait, the world tree? I thought we were talking about Christian/Masonic history here.
That's the point. He says it's likely because the apprentice who carved it was from Orkney, where those Norse pagan beliefs hung on for ages. And look at the base. He describes at least 5 serpents with tails in their mouths, forming an Ouroboros.
The world serpent. Classic. You know, it's funny, I was looking at my tarot deck earlier and thinking about how much we love that eternal cycle true.
It's not a trope, Paco. It's a structural reality in these texts.
Exactly. But then it gets even weirder. The authors bring in Andrew Sinclair, who links this pillar to the Tree of Knowledge in Eden. And he claims the serpent with the tail in its mouth wasn't just Lucifer, but part of the secret wisdom of the Cathars and the Templars.
So the villain of the garden is actually a teacher?
That's the author's core thesis. The Luciferian tradition isn't about evil. It's about a hidden lineage of lords of light.
He goes further. He describes this Rosalind fallen angel carving. It's a humanoid figure hanging upside down, barely held by a rope. Or maybe it's a snake entwined around a body.
That sounds intense.
It gets darker. He compares it to William Blake's vision of God, supported by the sons of Jesus and Satan. And then this is the kicker. He cites Andrew Collins, who says this figure is actually Shemaiah, the leader of the fallen angels from Persian myth.
So we're jumping from Norway to Scotland to Persia to the Bible.
It's all one map, Em, and it goes beyond angels. The book moves into the craft, the connection between masonry and witchcraft.
Now we're talking. I love a good overlap.
It's an overlap of shared devotion. The text quotes E.W. Liddell, saying that while Masons and witches might use different methods, they share the same goal: unity with God. And she claims that in the 17th century, even intellectuals were drawn to the craft because of its druidic roots.
Wait, hold on. Read that part about the witch blood again.
He says Andrew Chambly wrote about a myth of a bloodline of witches passed down from prehistoric times via the transmission of the primal creating fire.
That's the ancient fire the authors mentioned in the introduction. They're claiming a literal biological descent from the union of watchers and humans.
So, you're saying the witches aren't just people in pointy hats. They're descendants of aliens or fallen angels?
According to the text, yes. It's the infusion of the flame and seed of Samael and Lilith. It's the birth of Cain. It's this whole heavy, visceral idea of demoniological gnosis.
It's so much more primal than the clean version of history we're taught. It's messy, it's biological, it's sexual.
It absolutely is. And it leads us directly to the next chapter, the Queen of Wisdom.
Ah, the Queen of Sheba. Now there's a character.
Right? The authors look at her as an archetype rather than just a historical figure. They link her name, Saba, to the number 7, the 7 planetary rulers. And they point out her sunburnt skin, echoing the title of the burned one given to Set.
I love that. It's like she's a bridge between the Egyptian and the Hebrew worlds.
Exactly. She comes to Solomon to test his secret knowledge with riddles. He's the morning star to her. And she brings a massive caravan, gold, gems, and most importantly, incense.
The incense connection is huge. It's the same stuff used for the Magi, right?
Precisely. But the book shifts focus to Solomon's actual power. He wasn't just a king, he was a master of the Liturgy. He allegedly controlled jinns and elementals. He had a book of spells so dangerous it was burned by the church multiple times.
The Clavicula Solomonis, the Key of Solomon.
Exactly. A book so heretical that even the Venetian Inquisition was tracking its copies.
And the payoff? The text says their union produced a son, Makeda, the founder of the Ethiopian dynasty of Lion Kings.
Which brings us all the way to Haile Selassie, the Lion of Judah.
Man, we started with a Norwegian tree and ended with the Ethiopian Empire. This book is a wild ride.
It's not a ride, Paco. It's a descent. And we're just getting started.
Okay, so we've established the Queen of Sheba isn't just a visiting dignitary. She's a walking, breathing intersection of every forbidden tradition we've talked about.
And that legend about her, it's so visceral. The authors describe her being tied to the branches of a massive tree, maybe the world tree again and 7 sages under it. They kill a dragon to save her, but
there's a price. One of the authors says a spray of the dragon's venom hits her left leg and foot. It makes her leg hairy and her foot split, like her goat's.
A goat's foot? So we're back to the Satyr Pan vibe? This isn't exactly a regal makeover.
It's a mark of the wild. It's the otherness leaking in. And then the text says Solomon eventually heals her, making her foot human again.
But wait, look at how the book transitions. It moves from this physical deformity to the sacred marriage. He says the meeting between this African Arab queen and the Jewish king is an esoteric hieros gamos, a union of the moon representing divine wisdom, and the sun, the king.
Which brings us back to the high priestess in the tarot. The moon-crowned figure sitting between Jachin and Boaz.
And she's holding a book, an alphabet. The authors mention Kirker's Magna Scientia, where she holds 7 hieroglyphic keys, 7 keys for all human knowledge.
That's a lot of pressure for one book.
It's more than that. The text links her to Sophia, but then, and this is where it gets really dark, links her to the companion of Adam's youth, Lilith.
There it is, the first wife argument.
Exactly. He's suggesting the Queen of Sheba, Sophia, and Lilith are all different facets of the same primordial feminine energy.
And look at the Giordano Bruno connection. He compares the goddess Diana to Sophia because the moon reflects the sun. He uses the myth of Actaeon the hunter who sees Diana and is torn apart by his own hounds.
That's a brutal way to learn a lesson.
But the lesson is the point. The text quotes Aradia, "If you do not find within what you seek, you will never find it without."
That's actually deeply profound. It ties back to what we were saying about the internalized magic.
But don't forget the blood part. The authors mention that some legends say the Queen and Marduk conspired to steal the Ark of the Covenant and take it to her homeland.
Wait, stealing the Ark? That's a massive heist for a sacred marriage.
And it's more than the Ark. He says Solomon allegedly gave her an emerald from the crown of Lucifer.
From Lucifer's crown? Now we're really playing with fire.
And that emerald was used for the chalices at the Last Supper. The trail of artifacts is getting impossible to follow.
It's not impossible, Seth. It's just nonlinear. The authors point out that her kingdom, Sabah, is linked to the Sabian star worshippers in Yemen. They even mention an archaeological find of a lunar temple there.
But then there's the Nigeria thing, right? The counter evidence.
Yeah, a British archaeologist found ruins in the Nigerian rainforest and claimed that was her city. It's like the history is trying to physically move itself around.
It's like the shadow history we keep talking about. The truth is hiding in the migration.
And it gets even more monstrous. There's this story about a hoopoe bird telling Solomon about this great queen. When she arrives, Solomon looks at her through the reflection of his palace floor and sees goat's feet.
So the healing part from earlier?
It's the same wound. He thinks she's a desert demon, one of the Serene following Azazel. Or, even more provocative, he says she might be a demonic vampire. Lilith.
So the Queen of Wisdom and the Demoness are literally the same person, depending on whether you're looking at her feet or her crown.
And it doesn't stop at the Middle East. The authors link her to the Black Madonna, the cult of the Templars, and even the myth of the Holy Grail.
Wait, the Grail isn't a ship built by the Queen?
The Ship of Solomon, made from the wood of the Tree of Knowledge itself. He says Sir Galahad used it to find the Grail.
This is getting wild. We've gone from a split goat foot to the Knights of the Round Table in 3 minutes.
It's all connected. The authors even bring in the Merovingian kings, the long-haired kings, claiming they descended from a magical marriage between a human and a sea monster, Melusine.
And that lineage leads right back to the witch blood we discussed earlier, the ancient fire.
I think I need and drink, or a very large coffee.
We aren't done. We're just reaching the part where the light starts to flicker.
Because the next chapter, it's called The Lamp of Lilith.
Here we go.
All right, we've been traveling through these legends for a while now, but we need to ground ourselves. We're entering the Lamp of Lilith chapter.
I can already feel the vibe shifting. It's getting much more visceral.
It is. Because to understand the shadow history, we have to stop looking at Lilith as just a scary demon and look at her origins. The authors start by listing her names, and it's intense, beautiful maiden, specter, vampire whore, queen of demons, mother of witches.
Vampire whore? Talk about a bad PR campaign.
Exactly. But look at the reasoning the authors provide. They say these names reflect the folk belief that she was stealing life force drinking blood, causing miscarriages, collecting semen to create elementals.
Okay, so the elementals part ties back to that witch blood we were talking about earlier, right? The idea of creating life from the discarded parts of life.
Right, but the authors immediately pivot. They say, at first glance, Lilith seems quite unpleasant, but as we have seen in this book, the deities of ancient religions are often demonized by the new.
That's the whole thesis. The victors write the textbooks. They turn a goddess of fertility into a night monster.
Exactly, and they go way back. Before the Jewish myths, there's the Sumerian connection. Around 2000 BCE, she's depicted as a beautiful winged woman with bird legs, standing on two lions flanked by owls.
Bird legs and lions. That's not a demon, that's a masterpiece of divine imagery.
I mean, if I showed up at a party looking like that, I'd probably be called a demon too.
Probably. But here's the key. The authors link her to the Lilitu, a race of female vampires who hunted in the desert and the storm. They were spirits of the air.
Wait, spirits of the air? That connects back to her name. Lil in Sumerian means wind or death.
Exactly, she is the Lady of the Air. And it gets even more specific. They mention a myth where Lilith makes her home in the hollow of a tree, specifically the sacred hulupu tree.
The one from the Epic of Gilgamesh?
Yes. In the epic, the goddess Inanna tries to save the tree, but a serpent, a storm demon named Zu, and Lilith are all nesting in it.
So the Tree of Life or World Tree we were discussing at Rosalind Chapel. It's more than a symbol of connection. It's a place of conflict, a place where the divine and the monstrous collide.
Precisely. And look at what happens next. Inanna tries to clear the tree, but it leads to the destruction of the inhabitants. The authors suggest this whole myth is a metaphor for the decline of Middle Eastern goddesses as patriarchy took hold.
It's the same pattern. You take a powerful, wild, uncontrollable female force, and you turn it into a storm or a demon that needs to be conquered.
But there's a specific claim here about her lineage. She's the daughter of Ninlo, the goddess of the moon and wind.
And that's why she's most powerful during a weak moon. When the dogs of the night are unleashed.
Wait, hold on. I just remembered something. I was reading a snippet earlier about the first breath of life.
You mean the theory by Asphodel Pauline Long?
Yeah. She argues that Lilith wasn't a demon of the wind at all, but was actually the first breath of life. The very first inhalation of existence.
That completely flips the script. She's not the death in the wind, she's the animation of the spirit.
It's a massive distinction. It moves her from being a predator to being the very essence of the Psychikos, the awakened soul we talked about earlier.
It's like the female fire idea. Kathy Spurring calls it the fire of chaos, the energy that destroys the old to allow for the new.
It's pure Luciferian gnosis, the destruction of the established order to make way for evolution.
But let's not forget the darker side of the text. The authors don't shy away from the unpleasant parts. They bring up the Jewish myth, the one where Adam and Lilith clash because she refuses to submit to him.
Oh, the I am equal to you argument.
Why should I be under you? I was also created from the dust. That's her line. She chooses exile in the desert over submission.
And the reward for her independence? She uses the leftovers of human vitality to create a race of demons and giants.
It's a heavy biological way to look at magic. It's more than spells, it's much more visceral.
It's the shadow of human reproduction.
And it leads us back to the broader pattern. Whether it's the Sumerian Lilitu or the Jewish Lilith, the theme is the same: the fear of the uncontrolled, the wild, the feminine, and the other.
This chapter is making me want to check my shadow for any demon offspring.
We're all a little bit made of that shadow, Paco. That's the point of the whole journey.
I think I need to step away before we start summoning anything in the studio.
Agreed. Let's take a quick breather and grab some water.